Now listen, I think that most of Reddit is garbage. There are a few good subreddits out there that let people post what they want and discuss what they want. Kotaku in Action is a good subreddit. I know people post my videos there a lot. I know of a couple of subreddits from a few YouTubers that are good, but I've also experienced a ton of subreddits where I've basically been cast out, like in the official Magic the Gathering subreddit. It is gatekept to hell and back, and apparently so is a Star Wars subreddit. Now, this subreddit is literally for fans who want to engage in critical discussion of the franchise, yet now they're banning sites and people who are critical of the franchise, like Bounding Into Comics, a site that I reference a lot, Geeks and Gamers, Doomcock, and honestly, if my videos were posted there, I'm sure I'd be banned from there as well. So I wanted to read Bounding Into Comics' article on the situation. Star Wars subreddit saltier than crate bans Bounding Into Comics, the Fandom Menace, and others. The Star Wars subreddit Saltier Than Crate has issued new guidelines for the forum banning anyone describing themselves as Fandom Menace, as well as links to people they deem bad, including Bounding Into Comics, and funnily enough, Forbes. So the moderator, Moonlit Mushroom, posted to the subreddit, which boasts membership of over 74,000 individuals, announcing the bans, all because their feelings sound like they were a little hurt. They didn't like the content coming out of people in places like Bounding Into Comics and Geeks and Gamers and Doomcock. So this person wrote, "These are actually not new rules here. In fact, they are some of our oldest rules. I think most of our OG salt miners already know this stuff. I have seen them try to help inform and remind the many tens of thousands of new miners who have subscribed here in the past year." From there, the moderator attempts to assert claims over criticizing The Last Jedi. They write, "We were here first. We are the original. We started this sub the day after The Last Jedi came out." They continued, "Those calling themselves the Fandom Menace only started to do so many, many months after this sub had been up and running, and only seemed to do so to ride on our coattails to their very own political agendas. Us old-timers have seen it develop over time here firsthand." Bounding Into Comics published an article 3 days after The Last Jedi was released, titled "5 Reasons The Last Jedi Was the Worst Star Wars Movie Ever." Pretty good article on their side. On December 15th, the day the movie released, Gary Bueller of Nerdrotic also expressed his distaste for the film. Lots of people didn't like The Last Jedi, and again, I think that it's perfectly fine for people to have their own opinion and to dislike it. I disliked it, but this Reddit is literally for critical discussion of Star Wars, yet anyone that they don't like who's talking about it critically, they're banning, they are getting rid of, they are saying you are not allowed to be part of our community, and I think that that is absolutely disgusting. Their claim is an outright lie, as noted by just these two examples, and furthermore, they are not entitled to ownership over anyone else's opinions regarding The Last Jedi or anything else for that matter. Regardless, they wrote, "If you think this sub is on your side fighting a political war, you are wrong. If you are trying to push us to support that war, you are not wanted here." They then added a number of bullet points. "It hurts our cause of responsible, reasonable criticism. It hurts our cause to tie our personal thoughts and feelings on bad movies to politics. It hurts our cause for those whose supposed politics are being fed by misinformation." And it continues to go on. "It hurts our cause" is the wording here. Our cause. From there, Mushroom then reveals the subreddit's new ban list. This list includes people like the Fandom Menace or clickbait posts, in particular links to clickbait sites like this, Geeks and Gamers, Doomcock, Midnight's edge. Bounding into comics, cosmic book news, princesses and pirates / clownfish TV, comics artist pro secrets, which is Ethan Van Sciver. We got this covered, and Forbes will now get you automatically banned here. They're not even putting out a warning saying make sure that the links from the sites that you're posting are fact-checked, triple-checked, they are accurate. No, they're completely and outright banned. As for why Forbes was added to the list, they said, so Forbes used to be a reputable business news site, obviously, but it got bought out a few years back and has resorted to intentionally posting rage-inducing, misleading editorials to get more hate clicks. Oh yeah, a ton of websites do that. I mean, let's look at places like Kotaku and VG247. They're always making posts just to get hate clicks because it gets them clicks. It doesn't matter if it's a hate click. He added, this is incredibly dangerous because it is coasting on its sterling reputation, which lends its post legitimacy it no longer has. Clickbait. This isn't just about the Fandom Menace, it's also about clickbait. Now, to conclude the power-drunk post, Mushroom writes to everyone else, especially our OG miners who have been frustrated by the uptick in this nonsense. I'm sorry we haven't directly addressed this before, but while most of us may think the sequel trilogy is garbage, the Fandom Menace has been trying to light that garbage on fire and make it toxic. We decided not to give that fire more oxygen. A lot of the people in the Fandom Menace just have their own opinions. They really dislike the movies, the sequel trilogy. They're allowed to have their own opinions and they're allowed to voice them. You could say, again, be careful, make sure the posts you're sharing aren't, spreading misinformation, make sure they're fact-checked, because it is pretty easy to double-check the facts that a content creator is sharing, but they're not doing that. They're just completely outright banning people and posts from those people because they don't like what they're saying about these movies. He then concluded, thank you to everyone already doing that and helping to keep this the community for Star Wars discussion and criticism that we want it to be. They are literally closing off discussions from specific people because they don't like them. That is absolutely disgusting. This is supposed to be a subreddit where you can go and feel comfortable voicing your opinions. Yes, it might be slightly a more negative space because a lot of people there don't like the sequel trilogy, but at the same time, you're supposed to be able to go there and be critical of the franchise and say, I don't like what Kathleen Kennedy is doing. I don't like the fact that, they changed around the Skywalker stories to force in someone like Rey. You're allowed to say, I don't like the fact that they picked a host for the High Republic show who is making very anti-white tweets. You should be allowed to say all of these things without having to be worried that you're going to be banned. And it is just awful that they're saying we stand for being an open space for people to criticize Star Wars, yet they're not letting people do that exact thing. But I stand here, obviously, with Bounding into Comics, all of these sites that are being banned. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna say it again. And like I said, I'm sure that if my content had been shared there more, I would be on that list because I'm sure these people wouldn't like me either. But let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.